regarding sa halimbawa yung namamatay, yung rate ng namamatay ng mga baboy. So so that we know the state of sa isip.
Noted po, Mr. Chair. Thank you po.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Doc Don.
Thank you po.
Mr. Chair.
Honorable Abala, sir.
I'll just have to sum up what I have earlier manifested. The overall objective of the Provincial Agriculture and Fishery Modernization Plan, as manifested by the resource person, is to develop the agriculture, livestock, and fishery industry of the province of Northern Samar in order for us to attain food security, food sufficiency, and realizing the vision of Governor Edwin Ongchuan that every Nortihanon will be marigon, mainuswagon, malipayon. Of course, I understand the situation in Catubig and Las Navas as intimated to us by Board Member Galit, but that is also another aspect of the function of the Provincial Agriculture Office, the Provincial Veterinary Office, but it does not mean that we have to focus on that first before we implement or before we put in place the development plan that was proposed to us, and they can go together hand in hand while we do the proactive work by adopting the plan and implementing the PPAs that are proposed in the plan. The same office can also do the reactive part of the work by addressing these concerns that was brought by Board Member Lucero and Board Member Galit. And with that, Mr. Chair, and invoking the certificate of urgency issued by Governor Edwin Ongchuan, I move for the approval of the Provincial Agriculture and Fishery Modernization Plan 2024-2030. I so move, Mr.
Mr.
Chair.
Chairman, if the good sponsor would yield, I would like to register as co-sponsor. The
I
resolution.
yield to the manifestation of Board Member Singson, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Abalo.
There's a motion to approve that we pass a resolution adopting the Provincial Agricultural and Fishery Modernization Plan for 2024 to 2030. Since duly seconded, hearing the objection, motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman, considering that our resource speaker have already answered all the clarificatory manifestation by our colleagues, I move that to dispense his appearance together with the aforementioned other resource person. So move, Mr. Chairman.
The Provincial Government Head of Office, Dr. Jose Luis Acompañado, together with his agriculturist, veterinarian, and office mates, are hereby excused for their appearance in this honorable chamber. So ordered.
Mr. Chairman, I move for 1 minute suspension.
Session suspended.
Photo ops ko na, photo ops.
resumes.
Mr. Chairman, may I be recognized?
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chair, before we proceed with the next item, we have here some esteemed and distinguished guests. Before I formally introduce the aforementioned guests, I move that the rules be suspended in order for them to be recognized later on. So move, Mr. Chairman.
Rules suspend.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As I mentioned earlier, we have some esteemed and distinguished medical practitioner. They are here for their advocacy to minimize preventable death by managing massive hemorrhage. Team from emergency trauma, doctor, surgeon, and responder. We have here Dean Lorely Tanji, Professor Jason Bunaga from AIM, Dr. Roy Joseph Trinidad from Western Visayas Medical Center, Eldim Nilayan, Kisha Eloisa Gumban. Thank you and welcome to our Sangguniang Panlalawigan. Please acknowledge, Mr. Chairman.
The Dean Lorely Lee Tanjay of University of Nueva Cáceres from Naga City, Professor Jason Bunaga of Asia Institute of Management, Dr. Ray Joseph Trinidad Iloilo of the Iloilo Medical Center. Are you a fellow of Philippine College of Surgeons? Para tayo. Eldimi Nilayan and Trisha Eloisa Gumban. Thank you for attending or raising our regular session of Northern Samar Provincial Sangguniang Panlalawigan. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chair, to formally present their advocacy and to update the Sangguniang Panlalawigan. Kindly please recognize our very own PDRIM-O Department Head, Mr. Ray Chano, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Ray Chano is recognized.
Good afternoon and good afternoon to this August Chamber of the People. 4 years ago, we have a very popular case of Police Lieutenant Christian Bolok, a 37 years old young police officer who died on duty in the line of fire during pandemics, serving and executing the instructions and the mandate of the provincial government to dissuade our people from nakalimutan ko na yung from pagtitipon, so in the course of that operation, dahil medyo may sabong sa prevention or sa operation nila, namatay siya caused by a bleeding in his femoral artery, dito sa may paa. This could have been prevented, and that personal friend of mine and a good young officer, had it been there was an on-scene responder who could do um, intervention such as doing tourniquet skills, no, to prevent the loss of blood. Police Lieutenant Christian Bolo could have been saved, and hanggang sa ngayon po saan nagpapatuloy pa siya sa kanyang paglilingkod sa bayan. So with that and this kind of scenes, no, from vehicular trauma to stabbing incidents, wounds, hacking incidents, no, na common sa mga communities natin, namamatay na lang yung mga biktima without proper intervention. So we bring this group of emergency responders, no, to empower, capacitate our people in the field, in the trenches of emergency response operation, para hindi na mangyari, no, yung common scenario, no, yung common scenario na nangyari kay Police Lieutenant Christian Bolo. So this advocacy and this supposedly policy of the government to reduce, no, the risk of our people from dying because of massive hemorrhage ay mapipigilan natin, no. And in the past 4 days, nagkaroon ng training sila, no, coming from different places and provinces, geographical locations, andito sila ngayon na buo on the advocacy na ma-facilitate yung ganitong capacity sa mga responders natin. And hopefully we could replicate this one to our community. So here is our representative, the representative of their group, Dr. Trinidad, to speak on their advocacy and the competences that they have brought in the province just since last Thursday. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman, kindly please recognize Dr. Roy Joseph Trinidad.
Dr. Joseph Trinidad is recognized.
Thank you, esteemed gentlemen, for welcoming us here. It's a pleasure to know that the chair is also a fellow of the Philippine College of Surgeons, of which I also am one. I'm actually from Lanao Norte, now in Iloilo. I'm the head of the Trauma Center, sir, of the Western Visayas Medical Center, and I and my colleagues who come from different parts of the country, actually, no, from way up in Naga City, no, all the way down from Lanao, where I come from, no, have come, and we truly feel very welcome. No? Honestly, this is the first time I came here, the first time I visited this place, no, and the warmth and the passion of the responders actually matches no other. And for the past 3 days that we have been here, it's indeed a pleasure to be interacting with them. We don't claim to know everything, no, but whatever we know, it's always our pleasure and our passion to share. My brother is a graduate of the Philippine Military Academy. In fact, you may have seen him because he's the spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea. So that's also part of my advocacy. He's Roy Vincent, I am Roy Joseph. They say I'm a little bit more handsome than he is, and I perfectly agree. So again, gentlemen, thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you for giving us the chance to work on our passion, and hopefully, we decrease the incidence of what we call as preventable death. Death that could be prevented if only timely intervention is done. Again, thank you very much, and good afternoon.
Thank you, Doc. Timely because, you know, cockfighting is very prevalent in our province. And that two gentlemen, Lieutenant Bolo, died because of the injuries sustained on the femoral artery tungod sa tali. So, lumipat sa kanya yung manok. I think that was right. Femoral artery. So, femoral artery, for the information of everyone, is of the singit. And it is a very large artery, almost the same size as our pinky finger. Kaya medyo mahirap to prevent yung bleeding na yun. And then there's what ay nagpo-compress sa kanya ay medyo superficial siya. So, however, if the persons or other personnel who were there are knowledgeable on the his partial control of the bleeding, baka nabuhay si Lieutenant Polo. So thank you very much for the emergency trauma doctors and surgeons, responders, for training our MDR, our responders. You see our responders now also act as EMTs in that area. So, hindi lang sila for disaster. Karamihan sa kanila EMT na rin, so kailangan nila na exposure sa marami of these kinds of injuries, especially of these kinds of traumatic injuries. Thank you very much and good afternoon po sa inyo. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Dr. Trindad. I hope your 4 days stay in Northern Samar, kasama yung team mo ay maturuan o may ipamahagi mo yung dapat matutunan natin para madagdagan sila ng kaalaman tungkol sa pag-respond, particular sa mga emergency cases. So with this, Mr. Chairman, I move that the appearance of our distinguished guest be dispensed with. With this, I move for a 1-minute suspension. So move, Mr. Chairman.
Session suspended.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let us now proceed with the next item. Item is in letter B, under item number 6. Kindly please recognize the good Chairman of the Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriations for his committee report under the review of municipal ordinances and resolution. The Honorable Don L. Abalon, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair, in my capacity as Chairman of the Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriation, as well as Chairman of the Committee on Social Services, and Chairman of the Committee on Laws, Justice, Human Rights, and Public Accountability, and Chairman of the Committee on Housing, Land Use, Zoning, and Agrarian Reform, may I move for the deferment of the rendition of the committee reports of these 4 committees to give way for the immediate consideration of the 4 urgent matters that were submitted to us by the Honorable Governor Edwin Marino Siong Chuan. I so move, Mr. Chair.
Second.
There's a motion, and Ms. Joyce Armden, to defer the committee reports on Committee of Finance, Budget and Appropriation, Committee of Social Services, Committee on Laws, Justice, Human Rights, and Public Accountability, as well as Committee on Housing, Land Use, Zoning, and Agrarian Reform. And duly seconded, and hearing no objection, motion is approved.
Mr. Chairman,
Majority Leader.
we now proceed with the next item, item number 5, under the review of municipal ordinances and resolution. Allow me to render the joint committee report between the Committee on Civil Service Appointments and Reorganization and by the Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriations. Under the first committee report is the municipal ordinance number 2024-268-33 of the municipality of Katarman, Samar. This is an ordinance creating the Municipal Nutrition Action Office in the municipality of Katarman, Northern Samar. For the findings, observations, and recommendations, considering that members of this august body were already furnished copies of the committee report, I will just directly read the recommendations. The Sangguniang Panlalawigan, the committee respectfully recommend to the Sangguniang Panlalawigan that a resolution be passed to declare Municipal Ordinance Number 2024-268-33 of the Municipality of Katarman, Samar, valid and operative subject to the conditions herein prescribed and the provision of the existing laws, rules, and regulations. Submitted for resolution this 20th day of January 2025, Katarman, Samar. Signed by this representation as Chairman Committee on Civil Service Appointments and Reorganization, and by the Honorable Abalon as Chairman of the Committee on Finance, Budget and Operations, and signed by the majority of the members. So move for the adoption of the joint committee report, Mr. Chairman.
There's a motion, and Ms. Joyce seconded, to adopt the committee report on the municipal ordinance number 2024-268-33 of the municipality of Katarman, Northern Samar. Hearing no objection, motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the second committee report, for the second joint committee report between the Committee on Civil Service Appointment and Reorganization and by the Committee on Finance, Budget and Operations, the subject ordinance refers to Municipal Ordinance Number 11, Series of 2024 of the Municipality of Las Navas, Northern Samar. This is an ordinance creating the mandatory offices and plantilla positions in the local government unit of Las Navas, Northern Samar. Considering again further, Mr. Chairman, that the members, considering that my colleagues have copies of the joint committee report, I just would like to proceed to the recommendation of the joint committee. Hereby, the joint committee respectfully recommend to the Sangguniang Panlalawigan that a resolution be passed to declare Municipal Ordinance Number 11, Series of 2024 of the Municipality of Las Navas, Northern Samar, valid and operative subject to the conditions herein prescribed and the provisions of existing laws, rules, and regulations. Again, Mr. Chairman, this submitted for resolution this 20th day of January 2025, signed by this presentation as chairman, by the Honorable Abalon as Chairman Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriations, and by the majority of the members of the joint committee. I so move for the adoption of the joint committee report, Mr. Chairman. So move, Mr. Chair.
There's a motion, and it's duly seconded, to adopt the committee report on municipal ordinance number 11, series of 2024 of the municipality of Las Navas, Northern Samar. Hearing no objection, motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, with the adoption of the joint committee report as reported out by this presentation, and in order to pave the way for its immediate consideration and third and final reading, so move that the rules be suspended. So move, Mr. Chairman.
Internal rules suspended.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chair, move for the approval of a resolution on third and final reading declaring municipal ordinance number 2024-268-33 of the municipality of Catarman, Northern Samar, valid and operative subject to the conditions herein prescribed and the provisions of existing laws, rules, and regulations. So move for the approval, Mr. Chairman.
There's a motion, and it's duly seconded, to approve the third and final reading, the municipal ordinance number 2024-268-33 of the municipality of Catarman, Northern Samar, as valid and operative.
Thank you,
Hearing no
Mr.
objection, motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chair, I move for the approval of a resolution on final reading declaring municipal ordinance number 11, series of 2024 of the municipality of Las Navas, Northern Samar, valid and operative. So move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
There's a motion, and it's duly seconded, to approve the third and final reading, the municipal ordinance number 11, series of 2024 of the municipality of Las Navas, Northern Samar. Hearing no objection, motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the next committee report under item number 6 by the Committee on Health and item number 7 by the Committee on Environment, Natural Resources and Climate Change Adaptation, both chaired by the Honorable Gilbert F. Lyon, the consideration of which will be considered until the next session. Therefore, I so move that item number 6 and 7 be deferred until the next session. To move, Mr. Chairman.
There's a motion to defer the report on Committee on Health and Committee on Environment, Natural Resources and Climate Change Adaptation, and it's duly seconded. Motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chair, now proceed with item number 7 in the order of business. Proposed ordinance for consideration under the third and final reading. Kindly please recognize the principal author of the said ordinance, the Honorable Don L. Abalon, Mr. Chairman.
The Honorable Don Abalon, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. May I move for the approval on third and final reading of the proposed ordinance, an ordinance entitled An Ordinance Prohibiting the Mortgage, Pledge, or Pawning of Cash Cards and Other Government Assistance Documents for Low-Income Families, imposing penalties for violations therefore, and for unauthorized use thereof, and for other purposes. I so move, Mr. Chair.
I second.
There's a motion, and it's duly seconded, to approve the provincial ordinance and an ordinance prohibiting mortgage, pledge, or pawning of the cash card and other government assistance documents for the low-income families, imposing penalties for violation therefore, and for unauthorized use thereof, and for other purposes. Hearing no objection, motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
May I proceed, Mr. Chairman?
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, we now proceed with item number 8, and considering, Mr. Chairman, that no members would like to make use under item number 8, the privilege and question hour, we now proceed with item number 9, other matters, and I kindly please direct the Secretary to read the item certified to as urgent under item number 9.
The Secretary is directed to read the letter of urgency coming from the Office of the Governor, Honorable Governor Edwin Marinos Inuchuan.
Office of the Governor, January 15, 2025. The Honorable Vice Governor Attorney Clarence E. Dato and the members of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan Province of Northern Samar. Dear Vice Governor Dato and the ladies and gentlemen of the Sangguniang, I hereby certify the urgency of passing a resolution authorizing the Governor to request for Commission on Elections, COMELEC, exemption from the prohibition on the release, disbursement, or expenditure of public funds for social welfare and services projects in connection with the May 12, 2025 national and local elections and BERMM parliamentary elections. Attached is the COMELEC prescribed form tagged as Annex A for the request for exemption for social welfare and services projects. Thank you for your immediate legislative action. Sincerely signed, Edwin Marino Seung Chuan, Governor.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chair, I understand there are
Two more.
Three.
two other items certified to as urgent. Before the sponsor will consider, I would suggest that the secretary might as well read the two items, Mr. Chair.
Secretary will read the two other letter of urgency from the governor, Honorable Governor.
Office of the Governor, January 13, 2025. Honorable Attorney Clarence C. Dato, the presiding officer and Vice Governor, and the members of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan Province of Northern Samar. Dear Vice Governor Dato and the ladies and gentlemen of the Sangguniang, I hereby certify the urgency of passing a resolution requesting the Land Bank of the Philippines for the installation of one additional automated teller machine, ATM, at the Northern Samar Provincial Hospital, NSPH. The additional ATM will significantly enhance the accessibility of financial services at NSPH, thereby improving the overall experience and satisfaction of patients and their families and hospital staff. Thank you for your immediate legislative action. Signed, Edwin Marino Seung Chuan, Governor. Last letter, Office of the Governor, January 14, 2025. The presiding officer and the members of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, Province of Northern Samar. Dear presiding officer and the ladies and gentlemen of the Sangguniang, I hereby certify the urgency of passing a resolution approving and adopting the 2025 to 2028 Peace Building Agenda of the Province of Northern Samar. The plan aims to prioritize and harmonize government efforts to deliver basic services, facilitate social inclusion, and ensure active participation of the different sectors in the pursuit of sustainable peace and prosperity. Attached is a copy of the Joint Provincial Peace and Order Council and Provincial Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict, PTF ELCAC, Resolution Number 3, Series of 2024, and the 2025 to 2028 Peace Building Agenda. Thank you for your immediate legislative action. Very truly yours, signed, Edwin Marino Seung Chuan, Governor.
Majority Leader.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chair, to sponsor the three resolution urgently requested, kindly please recognize the Honorable Don L. Abalon, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable Don Avalon, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. With the certificate of urgency issued by the Honorable Governor, Governor Edwin Marino Seung Chuan, may I move to pass a resolution authorizing the Governor to request for the Commission on Election exemption from the prohibition on the release, disbursement, or expenditure of public funds for social welfare and services projects in connection with the May 12, 2025 national and local elections and BERMM parliamentary elections. I so move, Mr. Chair.
There's a motion and is duly seconded that the Sangguniang Panlalawigan pass a resolution authorizing the Honorable Governor to request the Commission on Election for the exemption from the prohibition on the release, disbursement, and expenditure for public funds for social welfare and services projects in connection with May 12 national and local election and parliamentary election. Hearing no objection, motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On the second item, on the letter dated January 13, 2025, and with the certificate of urgency issued by the Honorable Governor, may I move to pass a resolution requesting the Land Bank of the Philippines for the installation of one automated teller machine at the Northern Samar Provincial Hospital. I so move, Mr. Chair.
Second.
There is a motion and it's duly seconded that the Sangguniang Panlalawigan pass a resolution requesting the Land Bank of the Philippines for the installation of one additional automated teller machine, ATM, at the Northern Samar Provincial Hospital. Hearing the objection, motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On the third item, the letter dated January 14, 2025, from the Honorable Governor Edwin Marino Onchuan, with the certificate of urgency, I move to pass a resolution approving and adopting the 2025 to 2028 peace building agenda of the province of Northern Samar. I so move, Mr. Chair.
Second.
There is a motion and it's duly seconded that the Sangguniang Panlalawigan pass a resolution approving and adopting the 2025-2028 peace building agenda of the province of Northern Samar. Hearing the objection, motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Don. Majority Leader.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Still, considering that we are still under item number, under the other matters, under item is letter D, I move, Mr. Chairman, that the reading of municipal ordinances resolutions endorsed to the office of the Honorable Vice Governor, our presiding chair, and were referred to the appropriate committees, be dispensed with and considered as read and incorporated into the journals, into the records of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, referring to item number 1 to item 17. So move, Mr. Chairman.
There's a motion and it's duly seconded that the reading of the items on other items on item agenda number 19 be dispensed with and be referred to its corresponding committee and be recorded at the journal as properly dispensed. Hearing no objection, motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We now come, Mr. Chairman, to the last item in the order of business. We move for the adjournment of our regular session until the next session, which will be scheduled on January 31, 2025 at 10 o'clock in the morning. So move, Mr. Chairman.
There's a motion. There are no applicants. Honorable Dons.
If the other members would yield, maybe we can start our session after lunch because as what we have observed, while the session was supposedly to start at 10 o'clock, but we actually usually start at past 11, and just like now it's already 2 o'clock and we have not taken our lunch yet. So maybe we can make some adjustments as to the time.
Mr. Chairman, in as much that the Honorable Abalon would like to move our session from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, it must be proper, Mr. Chairman, that the concern of Honorable Abalon be referred to the Committee on Privilege, Rules and Privileges, considering that it is the rules and that committee that is scheduled and incorporate in our internal rules. So move, Mr. Chairman.
For the adjournment already?
No,
There's a motion and
the concern of Honorable Abalon be referred to the Committees on Rules and Privileges.
the concern of Board Member Abalon to move our session from 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. and to 1 p.m. or after lunch will be referred to the Committee on Rules and Privileges. So, motion is approved.
So for the meantime, Mr. Chairman, our schedule will stand at 10 o'clock in the morning.
There's a motion and it's duly seconded for the adjournment of the regular session of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Northern Samar until 31 January 2025. There having no objection, motion is approved. Session is hereby adjourned.